Imagine this as you lie down to rest each night. Your kidneys, those two fist-sized organs just below your rib cage, go into one of the most critical repair cycles of your entire day. While the rest of your body slows down, your kidneys are hard at work filtering blood, eliminating waste, balancing electrolytes, and regulating blood pressure. But here's the catch. What you eat in the final hours before bed can either supercharge that process or completely sabotage it. Most people don't realize that your kidneys operate on a rhythm, a circadian rhythm, just like your brain. That rhythm reaches a powerful healing and cleansing peak during sleep. But if your body is nutrient deficient or flooded with inflammatory foods before bed, you're essentially tying one arm behind your kidney's back. We can't afford that, especially as we age and kidney efficiency naturally begins to decline. Let's start with the mistake many of us make: skipping dinner altogether or grabbing something ultra processed, salty or sweet just before turning in. Maybe it's a handful of chips. Maybe it's that quick late night sandwich or leftover pizza. These choices seem harmless, especially when they're small. But here's the truth: these foods are loaded with sodium, refined sugar, or chemical preservatives, all of which place unnecessary stress on the kidneys at precisely the time they need to heal. Now contrast that with feeding your body with intention. Foods that gently nourish the kidneys, low in sodium, anti-inflammatory, and rich in specific vitamins and minerals, can help restore their ability to filter toxins and flush them efficiently. And timing matters. Eating 2 to 3 hours before bed gives your digestive system time to process nutrients while still allowing the body to enter a restful metabolic state. Take lightly steamed asparagus. For example, it's a natural diuretic, gentle, non-irritating, and helps the kidneys flush out excess fluids without overworking. Or think about red bell peppers. Low in potassium, rich in vitamin C and antioxidants, they help reduce oxidative stress, a key contributor to kidney decline. Pair them with a protein like egg whites or a small portion of plain Greek yogurt, and you have a powerful kidney-friendly meal that works while you sleep. Now, let's not ignore the deeper layer of this conversation: trust. So many of us have outsourced our health to pills and procedures. We wait until the numbers on a lab test scream at us before making a change. But food is information. Every bite you take before bed sends a biochemical message. The question is, are you sending your kidneys a signal of healing or harm? The psychological shift that happens when we begin to eat with healing in mind, especially at night, is profound. It's no longer just about satisfying hunger. It becomes a ritual, a moment of communication between you and your inner physiology. And that is where true health transformation begins, not in a clinic, but in your kitchen. Let me give you a simple example. A warm bowl of lentil soup with turmeric and ginger. These are not exotic ingredients, but together they provide plant-based protein, kidney-soothing anti-inflammatory compounds, and fiber to support gentle digestion. No stress, no excess, just nourishment. The body loves simplicity. And there's something philosophical here too. In our modern world, we've rushed everything, including healing. But the kidneys don't rush. They cleanse patiently, silently, consistently. When we align our habits with that quiet wisdom, when we slow down and give our body the right tools, we begin to restore not just kidney function, but overall vitality. Let's remember, the kidneys aren't just filters. They're gatekeepers of your inner environment. They decide what stays and what leaves. And if we want them to keep protecting us, we have to stop ambushing them every night with food that's not fit for healing. So the next time you stand in front of your fridge at 9 p.m., pause. Ask yourself, am I choosing something that helps my kidneys do their job, or am I asking them to work overtime through the night? Because that small decision, night after night, is what creates the long-term picture of your health. Here's the bottom line: your kidneys are ready to heal. They just need you to give them a chance. Start tonight. Make your last meal one that speaks life, not labor, to your body. That's where real change begins. Because healing doesn't start in a hospital bed. It starts at your dinner table, and it continues while you sleep. Let's talk about potassium, and let's talk about it differently than we usually do. Because this mineral isn't just about bananas or blood pressure, it's about balance. And balance, when it comes to your kidneys, is everything. Potassium is essential to life. It helps regulate nerve signals, muscle contractions, and fluid balance. But when it comes to kidney health, especially at night, potassium walks a fine line. Too little and your body suffers from weakness, cramps, and irregular heartbeats. Too much and your kidneys, already responsible for filtering excess potassium from the blood, can become overwhelmed, especially if they're already functioning at a lower capacity. Now, here's the insight most people miss. Not all potassium-rich foods are created equal when it comes to your kidneys. Some foods, even though they're labeled healthy, may contain more potassium than your kidneys can process efficiently, especially before sleep, when your body is entering its repair mode and kidney filtration naturally slows down. That's why understanding kidney-friendly potassium sources is not just nutritional knowledge, it's an act of wisdom. Let me give you a real-world example. Imagine two individuals, both are trying to eat healthier. One chooses a large baked potato with the skin on as a late-night snack, thinking it's wholesome and satisfying. The other opts for a cup of blueberries with a handful of unsalted pumpkin seeds. Both meals contain potassium, but the potato has nearly 900 mg, too much for someone with kidney strain, while the blueberries and pumpkin seeds offer a gentler dose, along with antioxidants and fiber that support rather than stress the kidneys. The second person didn't just eat differently. They thought differently. This is where we need to challenge our assumptions. We've been trained to think in absolutes potassium is good or bad, high or low, but true healing lies in nuance. It's not about cutting potassium out altogether. It's about choosing forms that cooperate with your body's needs, especially in the evening. One powerful example is red grapes. They're not just a tasty nighttime treat, they're also low in potassium and packed with resveratrol, an antioxidant that helps reduce inflammation in the kidneys. Or consider apples. Gentle on the kidneys, low in potassium, yet high in fiber and anti-inflammatory compounds. Pairing foods like these with a source of healthy fat, like a teaspoon of chia seeds or a few slices of avocado, slows digestion, prevents blood sugar spikes, and gives your kidneys the time and space to do their job during the night. But here's where it gets even more interesting. When you eat potassium-rich foods that support kidney function, you're not just protecting your kidneys. You're teaching your body something deeper. You're reinforcing harmony. You're telling your internal systems, I understand you. I respect your rhythm, and I want to work with you, not against you. There's a psychological effect that comes with this too. When you eat consciously at night with awareness of what supports your kidney function, you start noticing more than just physical changes. You begin to sleep better. You feel more energy in the morning. You stop waking up bloated or foggy headed, and more importantly, you gain a sense of control over your health that no pill can replicate. Because let's face it, we live in a world that constantly pulls us out of alignment with our bodies, with nature, with our deeper intuition. But food can bring us back, especially the food we choose at night. It's not just fuel, it's communication. It's a message to your organs that you value them, that you're listening. So when you're planning your evening meals, don't just count calories or track macros. Think about the mineral dialogue happening inside you. Think about how much easier you're making things for your kidneys by giving them potassium they can process rather than potassium that overwhelms. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. And awareness is the foundation of healing. If you're dealing with early stage kidney issues, high blood pressure, or just trying to prevent future complications, start focusing on your nighttime nutrition. Shift away from high potassium foods like bananas, oranges, spinach, and potatoes late in the day. Instead, gravitate toward things like apples, berries, white rice, cabbage, and zucchini. These foods still offer vital nutrients without putting your kidneys into overdrive just when they need to rest. Remember this, your kidneys are the silent guardians of your blood chemistry. They don't shout when they're overworked. They whisper. And it's up to us to learn how to listen. The good news is that healing doesn't require extreme measures. It just requires conscious ones. So tonight, when you reach for a snack or prepare your dinner, ask yourself one simple question. Is this food working with me or against me? Because once you make that mental shift from eating on autopilot to eating with purpose, you unlock the most powerful medicine you've had all along. And that's not hype, that's health. Let's talk about inflammation, a word we hear so often that we forget how serious and silent a threat it really is. When we think about kidney health, we typically picture filtration, blood pressure, or maybe protein levels in the urine. But at the root of so many kidney problems, especially chronic kidney disease, lies one insidious force: inflammation. And what many people don't realize is that our nightly food choices can either fan the flames of inflammation or help gently extinguish them. Chronic inflammation is like a slow burn in the body. It doesn't cause immediate pain the way an injury does, but over time, it chips away at organ function, including the kidneys. The body stays in a constant state of alert, almost like it's stuck in survival mode. And when that happens night after night, your kidneys don't get a break. They're trying to repair, to detoxify, to balance electrolytes, but inflammatory signals in the bloodstream make all of those jobs harder. Now, the question is, what foods are silently creating inflammation in your body after sundown? Let's start with one of the biggest culprits: sugar. Especially hidden sugars in seemingly healthy foods like flavored yogurts, granola bars, and fruit juices. When you consume sugar at night, it doesn't just spike your blood sugar. It sets off a cascade of inflammatory responses. Your insulin levels rise, your cortisol goes up, and your kidneys, which should be winding down, go into stress mode. And because you're asleep, you don't even notice the stress your body is enduring. You just wake up more tired, more inflamed, a little more unwell than the day before. This is where your power lies. The choices you make after dinner matter more than you think. Instead of sugary snacks or processed carbs before bed, imagine choosing foods that cool inflammation. Think tart cherries, a natural source of melatonin and anthocyanins that reduce oxidative stress, or turmeric milk with a pinch of black pepper, something warm, soothing, and scientifically shown to calm inflammation in the kidneys and beyond. Even something as simple as a few slices of cucumber or steamed asparagus with olive oil can offer a profound shift in your body's nighttime environment. These foods don't just nourish you, they send a message to your kidneys: you're safe now. You can rest. We've forgotten the ancient wisdom that nighttime is sacred. It's the body's repair window. Every system, from your brain to your skin to your kidneys, goes into restoration mode. And the foods you consume during that window either enhance or hinder that process. That's not just biology, that's philosophy. There's a kind of emotional inflammation that parallels the physical one. When we eat mindlessly, when we consume out of habit or stress, we create internal chaos. That chaos builds. And your kidneys, sensitive and responsive as they are, pick up on that stress signal. They are not just filters, they're responders. They adjust hormone levels, fluid volume, blood pressure, and they listen carefully to what the rest of the body is saying. So when you eat foods that promote calm, healing, and anti-inflammation, you're not just making a nutritional choice. You're making a psychological commitment to peace within. Let's go deeper. Green leafy vegetables like kale, lettuce, or collard greens, lightly sauteed or steamed, can be kidney friendly at night when chosen in moderation. They provide magnesium and antioxidants without excessive potassium. Omega-3 rich foods like ground flaxseed or a few pieces of walnut help bring down inflammatory markers. Even a warm cup of ginger tea with lemon can reduce inflammation in the gastrointestinal tract, which directly reduces systemic inflammation. And that means less pressure on your kidneys while they work through the night to clean and repair your blood. I always remind my audience, food is not neutral. It either contributes to healing or contributes to harm. There is no passive meal. Every bite, every sip, especially after sundown, is either a whisper of healing or a whisper of damage. And when you frame your choices that way, they become more than meals. They become medicine. If we want our kidneys to serve us for life, we must serve them every night. By feeding our body anti-inflammatory foods before bed, we create the internal conditions for repair and rejuvenation. We cool the fire. We give our organs not just fuel, but the right fuel. In the end, it's about alignment. Aligning your habits with your health goals. Aligning your food with your function. Aligning your life with the healing intelligence of your own body. So tonight, choose peace. Choose foods that ease, not agitate. Because the real power isn't just in what you eat, but in how consciously you choose to nourish your body during its most sacred hours of healing. And that simple act of choosing, night after night, is how real health begins. Let's talk about one of the most underestimated yet profoundly healing decisions we can make at night: hydration. Specifically, the strategic use of nighttime fluids that can significantly boost kidney function without overloading the body or interrupting sleep. Most people associate hydration with the morning or daytime, but few truly understand the critical role hydration plays while the body sleeps and how certain fluids can actually support the kidneys in their overnight detoxification work, not disrupt it. Here's what happens while you sleep: your kidneys don't shut down. They shift gears. The body's metabolic rate slows, but the kidneys continue filtering waste, balancing electrolytes, and regulating hormones. This is a window of quiet, focused work. The blood isn't being pulled as strongly to the digestive tract or to active muscles. Instead, it flows steadily through your vital organs where repair, recalibration, and cleansing happen. And what is one of the kidney's most essential tools in this process? Water. But not just any water, and not at just any time. If you drink too much water right before bed, your sleep may suffer. You might wake up multiple times to urinate, which fragments your rest and limits the depth of your healing. On the other hand, going to bed dehydrated forces your kidneys to concentrate urine, work harder to filter toxins, and retain more sodium, ultimately stressing the system and impairing long-term kidney health. This is why I want you to start thinking about targeted hydration. The hour before bed is a golden window. If you sip slowly, just 6 to 8 ounces of a healing fluid during that hour, you support your kidneys without flooding them. Warm barley water is a wonderful example. It's gentle on the stomach, acts as a natural diuretic without being harsh, and helps flush out toxins in a calm, sustained way. Another option is cucumber-infused water or a diluted celery juice. These contain naturally occurring potassium and antioxidants that nourish the kidneys while hydrating the tissues. Let's take it deeper. This isn't just about fluids, it's about a mindset. Our relationship with water reflects our relationship with self-care. Most of us run dehydrated, not just physically, but emotionally. We wait until we're exhausted, until symptoms appear, until something breaks, before we give the body what it's been asking for all along. So here's my challenge to you: don't just drink water. Bless it. Be intentional with it. Choose to see hydration as a ritual of restoration, not a chore. When you hold a warm mug of ginger, infused water, or chamomile tea in your hands before bed, you're not just drinking. You're sending a message to your body: I care. I trust your wisdom. I'm here to help. This psychological alignment deepens the impact of the physical act. The kidneys, which are extremely responsive to your emotional environment, recognize that shift. This connection between mind and organ isn't just poetic, it's physiological. When you're anxious, your body produces more cortisol, which raises blood pressure and taxes the kidneys. When you're calm, your parasympathetic nervous system activates, blood pressure drops, and the kidneys can relax into their natural rhythms. A warm drink before bed calms your nerves, dilates your blood vessels, and reduces the kidney's workload, all of which translate to better filtration, improved detoxification, and more efficient fluid balance. Another powerful but simple drink: coriander seed water. Just soak a teaspoon of coriander seeds in warm water, let it steep, and sip it 30 to 45 minutes before bed. It supports kidney function, lowers inflammation, and reduces bloating. And here's the beauty of it: it costs almost nothing. Healing doesn't have to be expensive, it has to be intentional. Some nights you may feel too tired, too distracted, too overwhelmed to think about what you drink. But those are the nights that matter most. That's when a small, nourishing act like this becomes a turning point, not just for your kidneys, but for your entire health journey. Because the body doesn't forget consistency. When you offer it the same gentle care night after night, it begins to respond. The inflammation drops, the fatigue lessens. Your energy, your clarity, your glow all return. Not because of magic, but because of choice. In a world full of noise, your kidneys crave stillness. Stillness that comes from hydration, from peace, from choosing yourself again and again. So tonight, don't just crash into bed. Prepare for healing. Hold a warm, healing drink. Feel it calm your system one sip at a time. And remember, real wellness isn't loud or dramatic. It's quiet. It's consistent. And it starts with what you drink when the world goes dark. Because when you sleep well, hydrated and supported, your kidneys wake up to do what they were designed to do: cleanse you, protect you, heal you. And that, my friend, is where true transformation begins.